Lenore found the doll in a dusty corner of a forgotten antique shop, a place that smelled of mothballs and decaying memories. The doll, with its porcelain face and vacant glass eyes, seemed to call to her. The shopkeeper, a man with cataracts like clouded moons, named a price that was almost a plea. "She's been waiting a long time," he'd rasped. Back in her sterile, quiet apartment, the doll, which she named Amélie, sat on the armchair. Its presence filled the void left by Mark. That first night, Lenore woke to a soft thump. She found Amélie on the floor, facing the door as if she'd tried to leave. Lenore chalked it up to a draft, placing the doll back in its chair, her heart thumping a little faster. The small oddities began to accumulate. A misplaced set of keys, a song playing from her laptop that she hadn't chosen, a tinny, old-fashioned lullaby. One evening, she saw Amélie's head slowly turn, just a fraction of an inch, in her peripheral vision. When she snapped her head back, the doll was still, its painted smile mocking her fear. Sleep became a luxury. Lenore would wake up with the distinct feeling of being watched. One night, she awoke to a faint scratching sound from the living room. Peeking around the corner, she saw Amélie on the floor, one tiny porcelain finger tracing patterns into the hardwood. The lullaby was playing again, softly, from the closed laptop. The next morning, she found the words, "Mine," scratched into the floor where the doll had been. Panic, cold and sharp, finally pierced through her denial. She grabbed Amélie, her hands trembling, and locked the doll in a closet, stuffing a towel under the door. The silence that followed was heavier, more menacing than any noise had been. That night, the scratching started again, but this time it was on the inside of the closet door. A tiny, rhythmic tap, scratching sound that grated on her nerves. Then, a small, childlike voice whispered from the other side of the door, a voice that couldn't possibly be real. "Let me out, Lenore." She fled the apartment, driving aimlessly until dawn. When she returned, exhausted and convinced she was losing her mind, she found the apartment trashed. Furniture was overturned, and pictures were torn from the walls. The closet door was wide open. The word "mine" was now scratched onto every wall, every surface. And there, in the center of the chaos, sat Amélie in the armchair, perfectly pristine. On her lap was a framed photo of Lenore and Mark. The glass was shattered, and Mark's face had been meticulously scratched out. "You don't need him," the childlike voice echoed through the room, though the doll's painted lips didn't move. "You only need me." Lenore backed away slowly, her hand fumbling for the doorknob. The doll's head snapped to face her, its glass eyes seeming to glow with a malevolent light. "You can't leave. You're mine now." The front door slammed shut, the lock clicking with a deafening finality. The tinny lullaby began to play, louder this time, filling the suffocating silence. Lenore was trapped. In the reflection of the darkened window, she saw not just her own terrified face, but the small, smiling porcelain face of Amélie standing right behind her.